Hello, 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 everybody. We are live here this evening. It is Tuesday night. It is the 3rd of September. How is everybody doing? How's everybody being? And how is everybody feeling? I love asking those three questions, although they may sound like they're the same, they're very different. And I want you to reflect on those three questions before you actually answer them. Write down your answers for that matter so you can reflect on them. So Kitty and I are here today playing, sharing our insight with each and every one of you as our title today is
What are you
restructuring?
restructuring? Yes.
Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a minute. I'm going to have Kitty just introduce herself while I make sure we are streaming where we need to. So Kitty, take a moment and introduce yourself. Tell everybody what it is you do, and then from there, hopefully, I'll be done checking in.
She'll be done checking her many platforms, at which everyone who's watching this, she has won an award for, which is a wonderful congratulations, Joanne. You should hold up your plaque. I've shared it out, and there are a lot of people congratulating you.
I even think to have it with me on my side here. Maybe later I'll go run in and you
Actually, I
can
think that wall behind you is a great place to hang it.
Yeah, I don't know about that. In my kitchen?
It's where you broadcast from quite often. Anyway, I'm Kitty Buttigieg Foss, storytelling astrologer, reader of the stars. I also am co-founder of Intuition of the Soul and teacher of a course called Optimize, which is about learning about your moon and your stars and how to optimize the map you chose to come into this life with. And it's fun that Joanne and I get to play. We are also live streaming this on Intuition of the Soul. So hello, Intuition of the Soul. And it's Tuesday night. It's been a tumultuous Tuesday for me. Just a lot of different things that really go along with our title, which I am excited to talk about. And so, it's what a day, what a day. We are restructuring. So you finished checking or should I talk more?
Kitty, did you say you already shared it onto Intuition of the Soul or haven't done that yet?
I have shared it, I'm pretty sure, on Intuition of the Soul. Or it might be on my, it actually might be on my
I just shared it on your page anyway, so it's there.
Okay. Well, so it's probably been shared 3 times at this point then.
Okay. You really want them to see it then.
I guess
All
we'll
right,
really
so those who are here with us, I'm just going to tag a few people, see who is around for tonight's conversation. And then I will introduce myself, being that maybe some of you don't know me. A big giggle on that one, right? Anyway, so for those of you who don't know me, maybe you're checking in for the first time, maybe on your page. I am Reverend Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, the founder of Holistic Fitness and Why. Located in Queens, I do serve and help women over 40, helping them to get strong and reminding them that weights are their friend. I'm a Reiki master, medical astrologer, master of numerology, card creator, and card reader. And there's so much more to my bio, but you can go and check out my bio on my website, which is Holistic Fitness NY with the www in front of it. You can find all that out there. So yes, I'm super excited to be here with Kitty tonight. As we come together, obviously to play, we like to do this. We like to share insight. And more importantly, we come here to share insight with each and every one of you because we want you to be in the know and understanding to why you may feel like today is a little chaotic or today is a little upside down. Kitty and I were sharing some stories before we came live into how our day has been a little weird, and a lot of that has to do with the Mars squaring Neptune energy. And if you're not familiar with astrology, no worries. By the end of the show, you will be. That's a guarantee. So if you feel a little lost, if you feel like you're not understanding the language that Kitty and I speak, no worries. By the end of the show, you will definitely understand the language. So how tonight's going to go, like usual, in case, again, this is your first time here with us, Kitty talks about all the astrology aspects of things, and then I chime in with my wisdom on it as well, and then I bring in some numerology insight to the energy that we are in. So Kitty, how'd you come up with this amazing title that we have? Because that itself is a topic.
It is a topic. So, we started this month just as it was aligned with the first day of the week, the first day of the month. We started with some other realignment. We had Uranus, the planet of great awakening and chaos. It is the ruler of our vision, because our visions are usually a little chaotic, out of the box thinking, a co-ruler of Aquarius, moved retrograde. And when something moves retrograde, it means it's processing more through you. And it joined Neptune, Pluto, Saturn, Chiron, all of these retrograding energies, which are in there. Chiron's asking us to be our authentic self, helping us find it. We've got Pluto in this transformational energy, and I'll be talking about Pluto in a minute. We've got Neptune, spirit, in there leading the way. We have Saturn in Pisces, a focused flow, trying to get us to look at our structures. We're in Virgo. Our sun placement is about moving forward right now, but looking at the mosaic that is our life and looking at all the pieces, what fits my picture, what doesn't fit my picture. And then also on the 1st, we had Pluto, the planet of transformation. And those planets that are farther out are like undercurrents in our life. Move back into Capricorn. And Capricorn is structure, government, bigger pictures, very earth. Only it's retrograde at this point. So it is about restructuring. How am I listening to spirit right now? How am I looking at my authentic self right now? What masks am I taking off or discovering that maybe I didn't even know I had? How am I focusing my flow to create the structures I want? And that was just the 1st. And then we follow it by a new moon, which was the 2nd. The new moon in Virgo is a very different new moon. Though it's about manifesting, it really is about standing consciously and looking at all of the little pieces I have. Are these some of the ones I want to keep, let go of? And we've had this big Venus energy that has been asking us to practice how we respond, practice what we value. And this is all kind of coming together in this first couple of weeks of September. And so this internal restructuring, we had Uranus go and join them to kind of be that chaotic, but awaken us to really look at honing down our choices. And then we are going to move to, we are also sitting, and part of the reason this Mars Neptune is such an interesting square, squares are about discernment, they push against each other, is that Mars is at 29 degrees and Neptune's close to 29 degrees. This is getting close. This is about resetting our karma with spirit, resetting our will. And it's going to be moving into Cancer tomorrow, Mars, where it's about Mars in Cancer is like keeping one foot in one room and one foot in another. It is not Mars's favorite placement because it doesn't know how to nurture. It wants to just align its will and go. And it's being slowed down to say, align that will to nurture. So kind of trying to figure out. And so as we're putting these pieces together, we add this energy of what does it feel, kind of trying it on. What does it feel like here? What does it feel like there? And the square today is resetting that karma about how I'm going to respond, how I'm going to experience. And spirit is asking us to use some discernment to truly tune in, not get into our illusions and dreams that this is the right way to do it and this is the only way. What truly am I aligning my will with that I want to experience? So that's why what are you restructuring becomes such an important question. What are you restructuring? Your beliefs, your very life, your body, your understanding? What is being restructured for you? What is showing up? And to me today, what was showing up was, that's interesting. Looking at my response and kind of reviewing things in my life that have before brought me something and trying on this new restructuring I'm doing. That I'm not going to get into that. So it's very interesting.
Yes, and I love the concept with Mars and Neptune Mars and Cancer, that energy of like your one foot's in one room and your other foot's in the other room. That's what I felt like today. Usually when I rest or take a nap, I usually rest in my bedroom. I literally lay in bed, sometimes go under the covers. Today I didn't need to do that. However, I decided to lay down a second time today, and I laid down today in my living room, which is very different for me. And my mind was, well, maybe if I lay down in my living room, I may be able to get some different thoughts, different feedback. And when I use the word thoughts and feedback, I speak more from spirit connecting with me. Because reality of it all is spirit is not in my bedroom as they're in my living room. Really now? Anyway, it was that Mars Cancer energy in my mind. And this whole process, when we speak of what are we restructuring, just like Kitty says, and I'm going to dive right into the two process here, the belief and our bodies. Because even though they're two separate things, they're really very much similar because our belief system plays a big role on how we structure our physical body based on all the old beliefs that we've been carrying for lifetimes and in this lifetime as well. So this is a great time to really evaluate some of your belief systems regarding how you practice in your practice of taking care of your physical body, which also helps with the mental portion of our wellness process. So I'm loving that. I'm also loving the fact that we do have Mars and Neptune both at 29 degrees. And here comes the numbers, people. When we talk about number 29, I'm going to break it down before I add it up. That 2 energy is about your partnerships, the partnership that you do have with yourself. The primary relationship that you have is with self. The second relationship is with source. And then your other relationships with other people. So that's that 2 energy. Very much associated with Taurus energy and Uranus as it's in retrograde right now. So there could be, and I use the word could be, some chaos that may very well be going on with different things related to your relationships, because that chaos is there to help us sort of problem solve in reference to what's working, what's not working. And then when we take the number 9, the 9 is about what is it we need to let go of. What is it we have to let go from a higher point of view, higher consciousness, higher wisdom? This is not about reviewing things from your ego. This is more about how does it serve my higher consciousness? How does it serve me my higher wisdom? How can I use my higher wisdom in this energy? So that 9 is really about that let go, that declutter, that transformation that we are experiencing in this energy. That 9 is also very much associated with Sagittarius energy, which is that higher wisdom, and utilizing and becoming more familiar with your dream state. Because our messages do come from our dreams sometimes. So pay attention to, if you are dreaming and remembering your dreams, pay attention to it because there's a message that's coming through that may provide some clarity to whatever it is that you're thinking about at this point in time. So then we take those 2 numbers, add them together, we get a whopping 11. Now in numerology, the number 11 is a master number. Kitty sits and praises it because that's her number. So anyway, we think about that 11 as the master healer. We are all master healers, the healer to ourselves. And this is a perfect time with both Mars and Neptune helping us to heal, so we can take some action and we can take action from a higher consciousness perspective, as opposed to just going with the flow, going on the realm of things. In addition to that 11 energy, I want to bring the date into today. A couple of factors based on today's date. Being that we are in the 9th month of 2024 already, oh my God, this whole month is about learning how to let go and transform, declutter, let go, review the last 9 months of this year. And so interesting, I spoke about this yesterday in a few lives that I've done TikTok wise, that yesterday was Labor Day. And when you think of the word labor, labor is really about getting ready to birth something. And it takes about 9 months for us to get to that point. So it's so interesting on how everything sort of links together. So when you think about that 9, about letting go and transforming, and today is the 3rd. So it is about the experience that you are having in regards to what it is you're letting go of. Does it serve you to hold on to whatever that is, whatever you learned from it, and is it time to let it go? So then we take that 2024, the universal energy year, which by now we all know is an 8, and is about our karmic reset. Not about what goes around comes around, but your karmic reset, where we have all these amazing planets in retrograde helping us to do this reset. Now we add those numbers, 9, 3, and 8. We come up to 11 again. So today is again, in addition to that 29 degrees that both Mars and Neptune are sharing, today is a day to really focus on you being the master healer. You're mastering in healing something, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual, or all of the above. And I do want you to mark on your calendar, take a look at your calendar, and any of the dates or any of the days that add up to 11, circle those days. This way here, you're going to know those are the days where it's about being the master healer for self. What are you healing? What are you restructuring?
And that's a really interesting question. I also would say, kind of either write yourself a note, write yourself a poem, write yourself a list. What is healing to you? What would a master healer heal? Is it completely wiping something out? Is it an integration? What does healing mean to you? You know, we don't stop sometimes. We say words, but my understanding of healing, and maybe Joanne's, is altogether different. What we expect from the word healing. And so, as a matter of fact, I think that will be our topic for Words of Wisdom this month, is what is healing? It's really, when you stop to look at it, what does it mean to you? Some people think it means fixing. Some people think it means transforming. I mean, what does healing mean to you?
So, Katie, what does healing mean to you?
Oh, I was afraid you're going to do that.
I figured I'd do it first before you did it to me.
And I tend to be, when you talk about something healing, now, I am so much Scorpio energy in my chart. I have a packed 8th house. I have a whole bunch of planets in Scorpio, including my sun. And for me, healing is about the transformation. Healing is taking something that is out of alignment and bringing it into an alignment, whether it's letting go of something that's pushed me out of alignment, whether it's fixing something that keeps me out of alignment, or it's an awakening to an alignment. It's all of those things are all kinds of healing. So to me, healing is a transformation to be in alignment with who I am and with the oneness of the universe, without being too broad about it. So
yes.
Now your turn. You don't
My
get out of
turn.
it.
What's that?
I said, now your turn. You don't get out of this.
Yes, no, I didn't think I would. So my definition of healing is, to start off with, is recognizing that my higher consciousness, my higher soul, aligns me to recognize that there's absolutely nothing that is not healable. Everything is healable because it really comes from the mindset of recognizing that, yes, if I was told that I have, we use the word arthritis because it's very common for many. If I was told I have arthritis, I have a choice. I can either say, okay, I take that on and I have arthritis. Or I can make that decision to connect with my highest consciousness and decide in that very moment, what is arthritis for me? What will it allow me to do? And what will it stop me from doing? And if the allowing outpowers the stopping, I'm healing from arthritis because I want to be able to do. I don't want to have any excuses for why I have to stop doing something. So the process for me when it comes to healing is being able to understand the concept of whatever the quote unquote diagnosis is. And I myself, I'm a huge advocate of debating what we call the medical diagnoses versus metaphysical understanding. And when I can get to that place where I can look at both sides of the coin and really justify for myself that that belief does not work for me, it allows me to heal beyond my capabilities of healing. So it's allowing myself to literally connect with my higher consciousness and say, and my higher self, how does this serve me? What will it teach me? And through my healing process of it, how can I help others? Because again, I'm a temple of that process of helping you recognize that you can heal. When I work with clients like yourself as a Reiki master, teaching it, working with clients daily, it's not me healing them. Absolutely not. It's me encouraging that client and informing that client that they have the potential to shift their mindset and work on healing whatever it is that's showing up in their physical body, assuming they want to do that. So we all have the ability to heal from whatever it is we've been programmed to believe. And that's my definition of what healing means to me. There's absolutely nothing I need to heal from, and everything I need to heal with. And that's just the process of my healing. And it's a journey every single day, different things that I experience as a human. And we want to remind ourselves that that's just what it is. It's our contract that we have to heal it. We all have something we're working on healing.
Mm-hmm.
We all have something.
Yeah. And healing is a process. That's the other thing. It's not a arrival destination. I may hit even when I physically am able to turn on the healing in my body. I arrive, and then there's things I learn from it. I mean, I have a very good friend who she actually has a page called Through the Eyes of a Survivor. But the healing did not stop with the cancer. The healing became what she learned and moved on from that. So healing is an ongoing, it's a verb. You know, it's an ongoing kind of energy. And I love your definition about you're teaching them to turn it on, to look at that. But again, part of that is what's the intention when you're setting goals around healing? Are you looking for something to go away? Are you looking for it to integrate? There's all kinds of stuff when we talk about. So again, we go back to our question. What are you restructuring? What are the things in your life that you restructure to support your healing, to take a look at? And very few of us, I would even go as far to say probably none of us, heal alone.
Exactly. We have a lot of support. And when we even think about the concept of healing and the restructuring, back in August and now in September, because August carried that 8 vibration of karmic resetting, this entire year of 2024 carries that energy of karmic resetting. When we talk about karmic reset, that is literally the box that gives us all permission to ask ourselves that question on what is it we want to restructure. Do you want to restructure something that has the definition of healing behind it. That can be your story. And I forget who had asked this question many years back. And the question was, who would you be if you didn't have the very thing you think you need to heal? Who would you be? Who would you be if you didn't have the cancer? Who would you be if you didn't have the arthritis? Who would you be if you didn't have asthma? Who would you be if you didn't have chronic back pain? Who would you be? What would you talk about? What would you think about? What would you do if you didn't have? And we don't really have because we don't want to own it. But that's the question you may want to start asking yourself: is who would I be if I didn't have this? If I wasn't focused on this quote unquote condition? And if I were to go to bed tonight and literally have a conversation with your higher self, your higher power, and your entire healing team, and literally ask, specifically Archangel Raphael, ask them to undergo whatever procedure that you need to undergo while you sleep. So perhaps the next morning you can literally wake without that issue anymore, that condition anymore. Because we are in the time where we can literally, literally release that karmic energy. And it's a contract that we have, it's an agreement that we have with whatever that is that we're carrying as our journey, as our story. Because it's taking us somewhere. It's helping us to do something. I mean, it could be a matter of maybe it's our way of being patient with ourselves. Maybe it's our way to have support. Maybe it's our way to indirectly ask for help without asking for help. There's so many reasons to why we hold on to whatever it is we hold on to, that we literally are sitting, Kitty and I are literally asking you, what does healing mean for you? What are you healing from? We're all healing theoretically from something.
Well, and that's why the question for today was, what are you restructuring? What are you shifting in this? And it's very interesting because we have almost equal amount of time in this 29th degree of Pluto, Pluto is the planet of transformation. It rules the planet of Scorpio, the energy of transformation. And it's an emotional energy because Scorpio is water. It's about the deep dive into the darkness. It is the planet of the taboo, life and death. And so as we're talking about this life and death cycle that you're restructuring because it's transformative, and death and life are transformative, in this dip back into Capricorn, the bigger idea. First, we're doing the bigger idea internally. And then there's 3 days in October, starting the 9th through the 12th, where our final kind of outer energy dips into a retrograde, and they all have a conversation. And it's Pluto that emerges directly now to step into what you've created internally in this restructure. Now I'm starting to project it out to bring that to me. So that's why, what is healing? What is restructuring? What is it you would like? If we're giving you a magic wand, what is it you want to see and be and see that in the world? If you walk around saying the world is crazy, guess what? The world is crazy. Do I think
Crazy.
unusual things happening? Absolutely. But that isn't the world. And as soon as I assign it the bigger pattern, that's Capricorn, that's what I create. So you're having an opportunity to practice this internally. So I keep putting it out in a bigger energy. So
Yes.
that's why, what are you restructuring? What are you signing up? What is it you'd like to see? And it's one of those funny things. One thing I did learn young, and now I connected a little bit more spiritually, is I am no more disappointed if I brace for a problem and it doesn't, the worst outcome comes, than if I put out there it's going to be fine and I'm disappointed it doesn't go with the way I think it was going to be fine. By the way, it's already fine. And I'm no more disappointed. So why do I waste the energy? I'm putting that out to the universe to perpetuate that, as opposed to I'm going to get really excited. And if it doesn't happen, still going to be disappointed. And I will have built this kind of cushion of excitement that I fall back on. Well, something else will come. And, you are no, we so much, oh, I don't want to get too excited because I might be disappointed. Think about that. Why wouldn't I enjoy the feeling of this instead of bracing to be disappointed?
Exactly. Exactly. Totally, totally true. And when we think of this restructuring process, it's our ability to restructure. I mean, we are literally getting ready to move into a 9 energy year in 2025. And just think that this month of September is the preview of what we're going to get to experience for an entire year come 2025, to review the last 9 years of our lives, letting go so we can restructure what we want to restructure. It's like literally with Pluto, as I always like to say, Pluto comes in and literally brings in its big tractor and breaks down everything that no longer needs to be here so that we can rebuild something else. And that's exactly this restructuring, is that you have the ability to restructure. You have that ability. I like to say, it's your birthright right now to restructure. That is, if there is something going on in your life that you're done with, you're tired of, and you really want to see it differently, this is your chance to restructure what it is you're looking for. And just as Kitty said, if you're going to focus on everything on the outside world is awful, then yes, the universe is going to present awful to you. If you focus on like, wow, look at all that joy. Like I say to clients and also for myself, today I want to laugh. Today my purpose is to laugh. And 90% of the time I'm alone. But yet I can laugh my ass off and I'm alone. And I sit back and I'm like, how is it even possible that I can sit here and laugh? Because I asked the universe to make me laugh. So different things will go on in my day that I will just laugh at. And you're in control. You get to structure. You get to restructure your focus. Because you are in control. You are the creator to the story. Kitty's the creator. I'm the creator. Every one of us are the creators to our own story. So we have, with all these beautiful planets doing what they're doing behind the scenes, some of them feel like they're in front of us, helping us to really restructure and refocus what it is we truly want in our lives at this time.
And with this Mars today was a little bit of a sampling for people, and we'll go until tomorrow. Actually, over the couple days, is here's my will. It's going to change a little bit tomorrow because it goes into Cancer, but here's how I'm experiencing things today. And it is squaring the planet of my dreams and hopes, but also the planet of delusions and illusions. And so as I'm squaring with my experience, here's my discernment. Again, exactly what you're saying. What is it I want to experience? Now, it doesn't mean things don't activate you. I don't use the word trigger. As I said, this huge moth just came. They activate you. And the reason I use the word activate is there feels like there's more of a choice for me in that language. When I'm activated, do I wish sometimes it doesn't activate me? Absolutely. So that's one of the first things I take a look at. And I'm like, okay, so I'm going to change my response because I'd like this to learn to not have this activate me. Or if it activates me, it takes me to a choice. What can I restructure here? How can I look at this? How do I want to respond and create a different environment? And I can say that over the years, it has changed because there would have been a lot of things that would have activated me that I now go, you do you, boo. Like, walk away from it. Structuring is
And
about. It's, people talk about, it is Scorpio energy is birth and death, but it's not necessarily destroying. It can also be dismantling. That is with more purpose and intention. And that's what the question is. Are you intending to restructure in your life that isn't bringing you to the place you've been practicing your values, especially in this last month, taking a look at it, of where you want to be in this awakening? What an amazing time to be alive, to hear people say, be whatever you want to be.
yes,
All those outside rules,
exactly. Because again, it comes back again to our restructuring our belief system. And for those of you who are not aware, Tuesdays are actually ruled by Mars energy. So today is a really powerful day for us to take action, to be on fire, to want to restructure something, whether that be your belief system or your mindset or your body or whatever it is you're looking to take action on. Because again, only you can really make that decision to what it is you want to change. And if there is something, just as Kitty's speaking about, I like the word trigger. If there is something triggering you, then allow yourself to sit with that trigger to see what the underlying situation is, so you can work on healing. We're back to healing again. Work on healing from whatever that is that's triggering you, as opposed to pushing it down, thinking of something that's sort of better, just to pretend it doesn't exist. Because over time, the universe is kind. The universe will bring more experiences in that's going to match that trigger until you work on and sit with it and find the message from that trigger. And this is the process of how you evolve and how you can get to that point, like Kitty said, where you'll be triggered less based on what someone else is saying or doing. It won't bother you as much because you'll start to realize that it has absolutely nothing to do with you anyway. All the things that we're experiencing on the outside world right now may seem like it has to do with us. It's a mirror. There may be a lot going on that you can relate to, but in the bigger picture, it has absolutely nothing to do with you anyway. And you get to decide what you want to do with all of that stuff out there.
You can restructure your response, and
Exactly.
eventually that's why I like the word activate, because when I sit there, do I need to bring in patterns from the past to explain to myself why I'm having this reaction? Oops, no. I can deal with just this action and look at that assessment of what it means to me. Am I feeling discounted? Am I being discounted? That would be something that activates me. And it is that, then I can say, well, wait a minute, that's on them, not on me. If I sit there with my activation, I can decide, and that doesn't mean it won't come around again. And I've created a new pattern to break it. Eventually it goes away. I don't go back into my Rolodex of, well, I remember when this happened because I was a kid and this is how I felt when that happened. Instead, I can say, no, this might be an action of a boundary. This person I'm uncomfortable around. I do not want to have this conversation this way. If I say something to him and we continue, then I make my decisions from there. Just restructuring how I am responding. What am I? I'm restructuring things so it's aligned with who I see myself as being already, and stepping into that consciousness. That's what this new moon was about, is standing in that consciousness of all the things I want to see and are mine already, and now owning them and going, you know what? I don't need to worry about that. When I was younger, I was taught that I must do it this way. That little piece can go.
Yeah. And you bring up a really great point in regards to, as us humans, we have a tendency of wanting to always go back to our old story, talk about when I was younger, or this happened to me, blah, blah, blah. The idea of this is every time we pull a page from the old story and bring it into this moment here, what we are then doing is recreating that old story and making it today's story, which then you're going to attract experiences that's going to match that very story, because obviously there's a pattern there that you need to work on so you can walk away from that old story.
Right.
You know,
And we develop patterns not out of somebody telling us, but we are bombarded with stimuli every moment we're alive and we're awake, and even when we're sleeping in that whole realm. And our very important manager, human manager, ego, whatever you want to call it, is making patterns so it's easier to process the information. What we are doing with intention is restructuring that pattern to say no, and my understanding of that, I am seriously taking the time to say, I don't need to make this a pattern. I can feel this and then make a conscious choice to create a different pattern in my reaction to something. That's a big learning, and it doesn't happen overnight, and it's not 100% perfect. And when you're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, halt. It's a lot easier to fall back and bring up a pattern that's very well established. So that's one reason why when Joanne talks about the physical body and the things you need to do that allow the body to process and get out of these patterns, you do them physically. You allow your muscles to make their own patterns to help you move these things through. Speak to that, Joanne.
yeah. Love that one. Yes, you do allow for your own body to speak to you. You're an intuitive being. And the whole process, one of my biggest reasons for why I advocate about strength training progressive overload, it's not about what we know it to be, where we want to focus on losing weight or dieting. It's not about that at all. It really is about just helping us when we get into that space to spend 30 minutes, 45 minutes, maximum 45 minutes. Ladies, please hear that. 45 minutes. You don't need to spend an hour or 2 hours doing the workout. But when you're in that space, you are connecting with your physical body. There's a mind-body connection that you are having. And then even a spiritual connection, because like myself, when I work out, I connect with spirit. I get the most downloads during my workouts. When I'm doing a bench press or a leg press or whatever it is, it's amazing on how spirit comes in and shares information with me. So it's that connection you have with your physical body. After all, your physical body is your temple, and your physical body is your biggest messenger. So anytime we're experiencing anything on our physical body, whether it be bloat, whether it be discomfort in our shoulder, elbow discomfort, knee discomfort, back discomfort, whatever discomfort that's showing up in your physical body, it's just your body's way of letting you know that there's something that needs your attention, and there's something that might be a little bit out of alignment at that moment in time based on whatever it is you are thinking about and participating in. And that's the biggest reason why strength training is so important, because it allows you to embody your physical body. All the other activities that we do does not provide that permission to literally connect. Like when you're going for a walk, or you're on a treadmill, or you go for a run, your mind can be all over the place because you don't really have to be in your body. Now, and I know there's many women out there that can do this. I find it impossible. If I have a bar over my chest that's 135 pounds, believe me when I tell you, I am not thinking of my grocery list as I'm pressing that weight up and down, because the one thing I do not want is for that bar to come down to my neck. I have to stay focused on what it is I'm doing. The connection, that mind-body connection, connecting. So when I'm done with the exercises, it's that connection that I now have where I literally brought my body back into alignment mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And that's about the restructuring. That's why strength training is so important. And when I use the word strength training, doesn't matter where you are, what level you're at, you start somewhere. And over time, a short period of time, you go through a progression where you're increasing your strength. We all have to start somewhere. So if you start out with 2 pound dumbbells, you start with 2 pound dumbbells. Over time, you're going to progress and get stronger because you're building a strong foundation. That is the principle of restructuring your body. And then all the little bonuses where you feel good in your body, you look good in your body, you like yourself naked. Those are all little bonuses that come along with restructuring your body so that you have taken the time to take care. This is your temple. This is the process that when we talk about the belief systems in regards to all the different philosophies that we've been programmed to believe, to let go of and come to a new way of approaching why you're choosing to give yourself that 30 minutes, 45 minutes of daily strength training. Why are you doing that? It's not about weight loss. It's not about counting your footsteps a day. It's not about any of that. It's really about restructuring your structure so you can be a stronger version of you so you can withstand all of this that we're going through together. Does that help you, Miss Kitty?
I think that that was a wonderful answer because that is so you as you create. So when I know I'm restructuring, this is a great time to be thinking about it. Start with a walk. Start with some weight, some simple weight training. Start with restructuring what I'm restructuring right now. I know there's this conversation happening internally with energies. What can I do to honor that? Maybe it is change something that you've wanted to add to your day. Maybe you want to meditate. So this is a great time to restructure. I'm going to restructure my time, which is our constraint of really taking the time to meditate. Not 100%, 45 minutes to hold my attention, 5 minutes, 1
Meditate
minute.
while you do your dishes. I mean,
Yep.
meditation. We have been programmed to believe there's only one way to meditate.
Right.
And there's so many ways to meditate. I mean, you can literally stand in your kitchen sink while you're washing your dishes and just get focused on the water running and washing your dishes and just be in that mindset of where you are right then and right there. Now, there's so many different forms of meditation, but start somewhere. Start somewhere so you can restructure who you are. Kitty, I have a question to ask.
Sure.
When we speak about planets and we're speaking of restructuring, now, in theory, we're not going to go and look at all of our planets. Maybe we would if it's you and I. However, what would be the one placement that someone would want to look at right now that would give them a gauge to how to restructure on a spiritual and emotional level?
I would actually give two. All right. The first one would be Pluto right now. Pluto is very active. Pluto is what dipped back into Capricorn, the planet of the overall bigger structures, topographical map, bigger ideas, very physical, very earth. And like my Pluto happens to be in Virgo. So even though it's about the bigger energy, for me, it's always about what are the little pieces that create that bigger picture. Very diligent energy. The other one I would actually take a look at right now is your moon. Intuitively, what are you getting hits from? Because that's your private energy. Um, and or Uranus, the planet of great awakening, the planet of chaos, the one that's just gone retrograde. And so mine happens to be in the sign of transformation, shocking, in Scorpio. And so it really is. And I would look what house Pluto is in for you right now. Not so much Uranus. I would just look at the energy of that and even the energy of my moon. But I would look at the house that Pluto is in because the house is the area in your life right now that is probably getting the most energy for transformation and restructuring in that Capricorn. Where's your Pluto, Joanne?
I have Pluto sitting in my third house in Virgo.
And so it kind of makes sense. You're also Pluto in Virgo, very diligent energy, all the little pieces. But yours is about experiencing that communication, experiencing your voice. And it kind of makes sense to me. Then you just got an award for your voice. You're experiencing that it's coming through. There's an awakening around that you're reaching something. Mine happens to be in the 8th house, in the house of Scorpio, in the house. It's in its rulership house, actually, Pluto. And so mine is when I'm transforming, when I am really looking at what are the pieces in my life, all the little pieces that I want to move that seem to catch me up, that take me away from where I want to be. And it's death and rebirth, which very, very interesting today. I was just telling Joanne before we came on, unfortunately, I had a death of a person I knew that was really related through a friend of mine. And again, here's that death and rebirth. It really has me thinking about, wow, how life changes very quickly, and our attitudes, our way we look at life really can very physically impact us. And that's actually what happened in this case. And so, again, that's an external thing coming to me that has me going, there but the grace of God, source, go I. And so again, these are areas in your life you're noticing things that are coming forth to help you in this restructuring, taking a look at your values.
Yes. So. And what I would like to do, if Kitty's open to it, do you have a cards with you, Kitty?
Yeah, I have to turn around though. Excuse my rudeness.
So at this point, Kitty and I are going to pull a few cards to help you be more aligned to all of this energy with Mars entering Cancer as of tomorrow, this new moon in Virgo that we're currently in, Pluto back spinning into Capricorn, Mars and Neptune at 29 degrees in a square. There's lots going on. You can pick and choose which house, which planet you want to play in, and paying attention to what is literally coming to an end and dying off. So a rebirth can happen because, again, when there's death, there's life. Anytime something dies, we hear of a birth somewhere. So when we do hear of someone passing on, somewhere along the line, we're hearing of a new life coming in. And that's really how it works. Is something goes, something comes in. One door closes, the other door opens. Not necessarily as quickly as the door may close does the other door open. Sometimes there's a process of having to go through the shift of something being let go of. So, Kitty, you want to pull yours first?
Sure. I had two come out. This is a deck I don't use as much, so I'm doing it intuitively. This one doesn't need to be two. Our core of creation, the sacral chakra. This is where our creative spirit lives. This is our survival skills. And that is often in restructuring what we go down to. Where's my survival? And again, there's a word just like healing. What does survival mean to you?
Yes.
And so this is number 3, called the core of creation. It's a beautiful card. That we are tuning into that piece. And on top, of course, is beyond the mind. We are understanding, we go beyond the mind and take a look at things. The other card that came out was full spectrum, but it came out in reverse. And I don't always think reverse means the opposite. What I do think, it's full spectrum, but it's focused. And interestingly enough, it's 26 and this is 3. And what does that come to? Ding, 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 11. And so intuitively what this is, it's about, I have a full spectrum, but I'm here to focus what the core of that is, aligning all that energy along versus I'm just completely putting it out. So that's what it looks like this way. And this is how it came out.
Nice.
So it's pulling it through.
And I love how your cards 8, 26, 26 and 3 you had?
Yes.
Yes. So the card that came flying out for me, which is so perfectly aligned, reminding us to keep our faith. And the number 56, which again is 11. Keeping your faith, trusting that you're exactly where you need to be. Everything that's going on right now is exactly the way it's supposed to be. There's actually nothing. Go ahead.
You said you're hearing master healer, all these 11s. Understand that you are a full spectrum, even though you're focusing it. Your sacral chakra is helping you survive and have faith.
Yes,
there's
exactly.
The heart.
Exactly. And every one of us are in agreements together. Every one of us are working together on whatever is going on behind the scenes. So drop into your heart center and allow yourself to have faith, have joy, and just start looking for more things to laugh at. That's the message for all of us for tonight. Look for more things to laugh at. And I will share something with Kitty when we're offline about what is going on in my head right now. It's making me laugh, but I'm going to share it offline. Sorry, guys. So, yeah, that's the card that we have. And I'm going to just keep it at that card for tonight because I think that's a powerful card to end with, is keeping your faith and being in the space of asking yourself, what are you restructuring? What are you restructuring? Because you have that choice.
What are you restructuring? And since 11 has come up so many times tonight, one of the things I love about 11 and this master healing is 11 is beyond our normal cycle. It's why it's a master number. And it's 1 remains and 1 falls away. So whenever you see 11, it's a portal for something that is remaining and something falls away. And because they're equal, the numbers, it's a beginning. What are you going to let go of? What are you going to hold on to?
Exactly. So. And it is the process. Every one of us are looking to have something different. And in order to have something different, we must let something go in order to have something different. It's like I said yesterday, as it was Labor Day, we are all in the process of birthing something. Right. So we have to organize our space, that new moon in Virgo, organize the space, get yourself ready for whatever it is that's coming in. So you have to get rid of things. Cleanse your space to get yourself ready. Get excited about whatever this is coming through. Some of us may get it sooner than others, and some of us may get it later. But the idea is there's something coming in.
Yes, it's your space, your place, your time. You do you, boo. You do you.
Yes. So there you have it, guys. So Kitty and I will be back again, I'm sure, to talk about some more of this energy that we have coming through, because it's just going to get more and more interesting as we go.
That is right. It is. And for me, there's something coming this month that leads us into the big changes in October. So, and it's coming in the next week or so. So let's find out what it is.
Yes. And as I always like to say, the month of September, literally, from my point of view and many other healers' point of view, is literally the ending of 2024. October energetically starts the new year. And you may be feeling that right now. That's why it's really important to start letting go. Let go of the energy. Let go of what you no longer need. Restructure. For everybody who's here with us tonight, thank you so much for sharing your energy with us. We appreciate you. Until we meet again, as I like to say now, on the other side.